Hey guys, Will here. This is part three of the Airtronics Olympic 2 100-inch span standard class sailplane. So let me back up here a little bit. I've got the left and right center panels complete. I've got the tips complete. I added these gussets. I selected some super light 16th inch balsa for that. And then you can see I alternated left, right. Just add some extra strength to the wing. Most of the strength comes from the monocoque. And then what we going on here is the brass wing joiner tubes. Now I was going to use a heavier competition. Came in a Airtronics kit, a white kit by I can't recall his first name, Mr. White. That kit came with a competition wing, and what made it a competition wing was this extra heavy duty 1/4-inch brass tube and steel insert. That didn't fit, and I would have had to Dremel out the bottom spar slightly to get it to fit, and I didn't want to do that. So what we have here is, if you can see those little, maybe on this side, you see those little white spots. That's 30-minute epoxy mixed with a little bit of micro balloons. So that's my test fit, and everything, I checked it, double checked it, triple checked it. I've been looking at it for a couple days now. We had a big snowstorm, so I had other things to do. So this is a test fit for the brass spar tubes, if you will, that the metal rod will insert in. The metal rod is currently inside those tubes. And you can see here we got a nice tight joint. That's not glued, just the brass tubes are tacked. I also went ahead and put the gussets top and bottom. Those are cut 3/4-inch squares, then cut again into triangles. All the spars were nice, and the ribs were nice and square to the trailing edge and the leading edge, so those fit in real nice. I laid the wing panel flat on the board, used a piece of 1/8-inch balsa stock as a spacer, and when I was happy with the fit, I just gave it a touch of thin CA and then went back over it. So I guess the last part of this is that I started to rough in the leading edge, the sanding on the leading edge. And it's basically right here is, let's see if I can get that. Right here is square, is kind of a square machined cut. And you have to sand that out and get the taper in there just right. You can see a little bit of it right there. Right on the end. You see that right here? I'm sorry. Right in this section here. If you look from about my finger back to here, if I can get the light just right. See it? See that little shadow? That's some squareness that still needs to be sanded out. So I also fit the gussets here. I did have to sand the angle because, as you can see, there's it's not, the trailing edge isn't square to the ribs as it is in the main left and right panel. So that's it. This has been set up for about 15-20 minutes, so I'll give it a few hours. I'm not in a rush, and then we will move on to attaching the tips to the center panels And I maybe think about that a little bit. I may cover. Now let me back up. That's not going to work. Okay, so we'll attach the tips to the center panels. We'll finish up sheeting the center section after we fill this area here with micro balloons. There'll be a small block of wood here, so that I'm sorry, a small block of wood right here, so that epoxy doesn't flow into the tube and impede the metal rod. So I'll put a small block there. I've seen some people fill this area, but it's on the the spar. Um, so I am going to fill this void entirely with um, epoxy and micro balloons, and then the plywood plate, the hedral brace, will come in and be clamped down, and then we'll go ahead and finish the center sheet. So that's it. If you have any questions, leave a message in the section below. The Airtronics Olympic 2 100-inch wingspan. That'll probably be more about like 104 to 106. I'm going to do some different wingtips. Hope I don't offend any of the purists out there. But this is one of two kits. We're going to build a pure res ship, and then I'm going to build um, rudder elevator servo and electric power. So that's it, guys. Sorry about the mess on the bench. Thanks for checking out the video. Stay tuned for part 4. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit the little bell next to the subscribe, and that'll send you an alert when I upload a new video. And I'll probably upload another video in the next, I'd say 2 to 4 days. Okay, guys. Hope everybody's well. See you at the field.